welcome back. Our prompt today: describe a mysterious abandoned house in the woods and its secrets. So immediately, I say that a lot, don't I? Sorry, I just have editing the last video fresh in my head and I start to recognize the things I repeat. But after reading that, the first thing that comes to my mind is pick a happy secret, pick a good secret. I feel like when most people think of an abandoned house with secrets, their mind would immediately go to something dark and sinister. And I want to avoid cliches in general, so I would want to go with something like really cool and exciting, you know, like hidden treasure. Actually, hidden treasure is pretty good. You know what? I don't want to overthink this one too much. My goal again is to do between 300 and 500 words. But I'm going to approach this a little differently. I don't necessarily want to do a story. I just kind of want to treat this as a writing practice. I mean, it just says describe, so this could be something to kind of, you could potentially slot into another story. I mean, I have no intention of doing that. It's just purely practice. I kind of feel like gold bars, mostly because I was watching, what's it called? The Completely Imaginary and Made Up Adventures of Dick Turpin, that new Apple Plus TV show. Apple Plus, buy Apple. That's kind of, I don't know, gold bars hidden in the walls or something. I like the idea of that. Yeah, I mentioned this in a post on Facebook I did last week about how before I write a story, I like to write a lot of backstory. So I feel like I need some backstory for this house. And normally I have music when I write, and it's a little bizarre for me to attempt to write without music. I do have the Dick Turpin song playing in my head. Stand and deliver. Alright, that's gonna be my inspiration. I'm not gonna do it like a Highwayman hideout. That's a little too derivative. So the other thing that gold bars makes me think of is Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation. So I feel like this house, it belonged to a man who didn't trust the banks. So he hid all his money on the property. Stop suggesting things to me. How do I turn that off? That's annoying. Yeah, so he hid all his money on the property, but he had no family. That's too depressing. No, he had family, but forgot or wasn't able to properly explain where the gold was. You know, maybe he died suddenly. Yeah. He died suddenly in a car accident. I'm just gonna say the cabin in the woods. So the cabin in the woods stayed in the family, but remained abandoned for years. I gotta figure out how to turn off this predictive text. Really annoying. Keyboard settings. And turn off predictive. You know what's weird is I don't remember this happening last time I was writing. By the way, I do have a Granary keyboard. It just doesn't work for Mac for some reason. Predictive text. Well, you can check my spelling. I don't want nothing else from you. 30 years later. Why? You're still there. Why? You're still giving me fucking predictive text. You're making me crazy right now. I don't want this. The inheritor goes to inspect the fuck off. How do I turn this off? Oh my god. Why? It's never been there before. Why is this a problem now? This video is no longer a writing experiment. It's just me losing my fucking mind. Annoyed easily and yeah, I also hate auto capitalization, by the way. Smart punctuation is never smart. Does that save it? Is it saved? Dang it, you're still doing it. You're still doing it. I'm gonna actually murder someone. Someone will actually die soon. I'm restarting my iPad because I can't even. I cannot. You know, I was in a really good mood when I sat down to write. But little things like this make me fucking crazy. Like, I don't understand why suddenly the predictive text is happening. No network connection. Well, that's a lie. Well, it's not doing the auto capitalization anymore. So, small victories. Oh, it's also being slow as fuck now. What? You're doing it. You're doing the thing I don't want you to do. Oh my god. Why? Well, this was a waste of time. Welcome back. Alright, I was clearly losing my fucking mind. To the point where I decided to update my iPad to attempt to fix the problem. That was taking too long, as you can see from the time. And yes, I have too many icons on my dashboard. But I switched computers, so I'm on a real computer. Well, I'm on a laptop. It's a really old laptop, which is why I don't use it so much anymore. It is a laptop that I've written a lot of novels on, so it's a good writing laptop. I'll tell you that much. Let's continue. I think I've managed to calm down. I really did start this in a great mood. I've sort of lost my flow a little bit, but we're gonna get back there. 30 years later, the inheritor goes to inspect the property. I know I said this wasn't gonna be a short story, but I feel like it's just hard for me to write any other way. So I think I am gonna kind of approach this like a fiction story, even if I don't have like a solid beginning, middle, and end, or really a good concept of who the character is. Let's go. And again, it's very weird for me to write without music. I don't know how I got through it last time, actually. I guess because I was yabbering so much I just kind of didn't notice. I'm gonna stick with 30 years here. For 30 years, stood in the woods, untouched, unbothered, untended. Untended. But you know what? Stuff I don't like now, that's stuff that can be fixed later in the editing. But I really need to just focus on getting stuff out. Uh-oh, we need a name. We're gonna go with Miller, because I have St. Leibowitz and the Wild Horsewoman by Walter M. Miller Jr. sitting on my table. So lovingly tended, you're now dark. What's another word for vines? Have no fear, I have my thesaurus. Bless the thesaurus. Climbers. Lianas? I don't know what lianas are, but they sound great. I think that's like a specific plant, though. So let's just go with climbers. Clinging to the off-white plaster and gnawing, clawing. Clawing's the wrong word. I'm trying to think of like how a crowbar. Clawing. What do you got for me? Tearing, grazing, crowing? I mean, cock-a-doodle-doo. Is crowbarring? Is that a word? I'm gonna have to come back to this later because I'm just getting distracted. The porch where Mr. Miller used to sit and read, fallen into itself, making entry through the front door, a obstacle course of splinters and tetanus. Tetanus? What do you got for me? You know what? Let's turn Grammarly on. Grammarly. Log into Grammarly. No, it's not. Oh, it's tetanus. Of course. You know, that's like a common mistake that I've made a few times. I know, because every time I correct it, I'm like, oh, there's a fucking A in there. Well, that should be an obstacle. I don't really want to name this person because she's not important. The cabin is important. So I'm just gonna say the miller's granddaughter. Granddaughter? Yeah, why not? It doesn't really matter. Had seen the quaint cabin in photos. Had only seen photos before. It was a shock to be faced with the dilapidated structure. Dilapidated. It took a while to find a way through the overgrown garden to reach the back door. The window was smashed in from a fallen branch, and she had to wrestle with the door to push it open. Inside wasn't as dramatic as the exterior. It had passed their home. Outdated furniture and belongings were where the grandparents had left them, and they were covered with a thick layer of dust and mildew. The floors creaked, and the walls were speckled with, not moss, not fungus, but similar to fungus. Mold, thank you. The ceiling sagged uneasily, uncomfortably, menacingly. She had this sense that she arrived just in time, that a brave woman, the cabin had already collapsed. I know, like I said, the way I started this paragraph and the way I ended it don't really mesh up. I feel like I gotta do a 180 here. So I'm just gonna delete this sentence. This nonsense because I don't really need it. Yep, still have that song starting in my head. Mrs. Miller had died the week before, and her will had listed the cabin, and her will had bequeathed? I don't know. Bequeathed? What's a better word for that? Stowed the will, well, I'm not gonna say the will had willed. She hadn't been expecting much, but this was even worse than what she'd imagined. She didn't even think she could sell the belongings on eBay to recoup her gas money she'd spent getting there. Still, the novelty of rummaging through her grandparents' things pushed her further into the cabin. The kitchen floor had completely disappeared, no doubt due to a leak that had gone unchecked. room was remarkably well preserved compared to the rest of the cabin. The gaudy pink sheets were almost slightly moss-eaten. The desk had some papers on it, though the writing was completely illegible. It was most likely her grandfather's. He was the person who loved cabin most. We're getting a little long-winded, I know. But really, we're just supposed to be describing the wooden secret. So, you know what? I feel like we're doing it. When he had died, her grandmother couldn't bear to visit it without him. She took a chance and sat at the desk. And creaked before everybody groaned under her weight. But the top drawer was locked with a little force. The rotting wood gave way and opened. Inside was a bundle of letters. My heart skipped a beat, thinking it might be long for botany of, I just don't want to repeat the same word. Dispatches. Correspondences? Love correspondences. Okay. Notelet? That's cute. Correspondences. I can't tell if that's too formal or it kind of works because it's a little old-fashioned and obviously outdated. But that might work because she's kind of stepping into the past. You know what? I'm just gonna use it for now, and if I hate it later, I can change it. And open the first envelope into her dismay. Realized they were counting receipts. Each letter went into great detail about the amount of money and its conversion rate to gold. Gold? The word brought back a memory of a family Christmas long ago. No, it should be more than one. Brought back memories of family Christmases over the years. Her grandmother lamenting how her husband had always promised to take her on a trip around the world. As soon as we had enough gold, he would always promise. Give a word for promise, please. He would always bow. Gold had become a family joke. Grandpa's gold would tease her grandmother, but she insisted it was out there somewhere. Whoa, I'm over 500 words. You know, 300 to 500 words is a pretty fast and loose rule. I just need her to like figure it out. She was leaning over the desk now, her eyes scrutinizing the numbers. Could it be true? Was there really gold out there? The chair may have been able to support her, but the extra weight was too much for the desk. One leg buckled and snapped, smashing into the wall. She screamed and fell back, and from the wall gurried the cabin's current resident, a displeased raccoon. She kicked and scrambled away. Oh, this poor raccoon. To the safety of the bed. The raccoon took another moment to, why is the word admonish coming to me? I need reprimand to reprimand her, and then disappeared out the door towards the kitchen. She ran from the cabin as fast as she could, dreams of gold lean her mind as she fearfully checked herself out for bites, worried she'd have to get a rabies shot. Had she spent a moment longer inspecting the cabin, she might have noticed the glimmer of gold long hidden in the cabin walls. Bleeding. Rabies short? That took a little bit more time than I thought it would, mostly because I was freaking out for like a full 30 minutes at my iPad. It's a little longer than I wanted it to be, but you know what? It was just an experiment. It's just a writing practice. So let's just quickly do some editing. The last time I did the editing was 2 videos. I'm not going to do that this time because I kind of thought it was a little bit boring. For 30 years, stood in the woods. For 30 years, you stood in the woods. I'm not gonna take that suggestion. Nope, I'm not gonna take that suggestion. I will take that suggestion. Showing text, please. Calling off. No. Alright. I still haven't figured out the right word for that one yet. That should have been had fallen into itself. Yeah, too be-faced is a little too fancy. Let's just to find the dilapidated structure. Finding a way through the open took a while. Nah, my sentence is better. Alright, I'm gonna change this to the active voice because it sounds like the woods itself is a little more menacing. It smashed into the window. Oh, smashed into the window, smashed. I mean, smashed in. Smashed into. You know what? Both are fine. She had to wrestle with the door to push it open. Yeah, that's better. If I can avoid starting a paragraph with the or she or, you know, like a pronoun or an article, I will. The outside furniture and belongings were hurt. I don't think that's an unclear entity. What? She'd imagine. The floor is creaked, and the walls are speckled with mold. What? Speckled is a great word. Fuck you. I love this, like, even a knowledgeable audience may be unfamiliar. You know what? I don't want an unknowledgeable audience to be reading my work. So, get a dictionary. Nah, the passive is okay there. She sensed. She had the sense. I don't know. She had the sense. Sounds nice to me. Came through her grandparents. Yeah, that does need an apostrophe. Although, can we please keep the rounded apostrophes? But thank you very much. But a day later, no comma here. I don't like the pause. The kitchen floor had disappeared entirely. Utterly disappeared. Wholly disappeared. Entirely good. No comma for you. No doubt is good. Well, in the band, actually. The dining room and his family or something in the corner. And luckily, no one. There's just too many commas. I just don't like having. I don't want to speckle my document with commas. The desk still has some papers. No, I don't like that. It's not an unclear. It's fine. He had died. It's fine. I do like to take anything. Where's that? Nope. You go away. She opened the first window. You know, I'm gonna keep this comma because I like the pause is sort of anticipatory. She opened the first envelope. And to her dismay, realized. Yeah, no, that's good. We gotta keep that. I'm not gonna put that one in. Oh my god, see, that's what I mean. They just want to keep putting commas in. Grammarly, chill. Pure display realized. You know, when they tell me to take out commas, I don't mind it. Less is more, right? Her grandmother. No. This is a continuous action because it happened constantly over many years. Oh yeah, no, we don't need a apostrophe there. Was there really called out there? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep the pause there because, you know, it's taking a moment. So I kind of like the visual of that's really funny to me. I'm just kind of picturing it like squeak. Yeah. She seriously check this out. Yeah, I know it does repeat a lot, but that's because I didn't want to name her. So, all right, how do you spell rabies? Oh, damn it! All right, did I plagiarize? Tell me if I plagiarized. All right, well, I'm probably gonna give that another editing pass in a day or two before I post it up on Booksy. So, you know, if you're kind of curious how it really ends up, please check it out on Booksy. Thank you for watching me freak the fuck out at my iPad, and then for writing this little description of the cabin. I hope you enjoyed my mental breakdown. Let's save that document because my laptop doesn't autosave. Alright, until next time, sparkle fly away! I'm not gonna keep that as my song. It still makes me laugh though. That's like the best thing I've ever written. Alright, bye.